what animates the work that I do and what gets me up in the morning. And it's questions of how can we find new ways to do old things. The mission of Encore.org is to create a better future for future generations and to mobilize the vast and growing older population to invest in the well-being of young people. I spent the first 15 years of my working life focused on young people who were growing up in poverty, and I became immersed in what young people needed to overcome the odds and live productive lives. The one thing every child needs is at least one adult who's irrationally crazy about them. Today, for the first time ever, we have more older people than younger people. And that's seen as the basis for a huge disconnection between generations. But that's a divide that we can bridge, that we have to bridge. 50 years ago, JFK gave his most important speech on aging. He said we'd added years to life. Now it's time to add life to those years. The secret to happiness in later life is not trying to be young, but rather to be there for those who actually are. Encore.org realized the intergenerational opportunity, and we want to make sure that we leave the world better than we found it. Our founding project was Experience Corps, which is now in over 20 cities around the country, in which teams of older people help children in low-income schools read by the 3rd grade. We followed Experience Corps with the Purpose Prize, which is a prize for social innovators over the age of 60. Our most recent effort is the Generation to Generation campaign, which is mobilizing a movement of 1 million older people to stand up and show up for the next generation. We created the Encore Fellowships initiative, which is a 1-year internship for grown-ups who are moving from their midlife career in the private sector and using skills in areas like IT, strategic planning, marketing to help strengthen the capacity of the social sector. The Encore Fellowships program has already had nearly 1,700 fellowships. We're trying to promote not only a culture which supports older people engaged in purposeful and productive ways that benefit future generations, but to create a society where that happens naturally and help build a movement of older people who are deeply invested in the well-being of the next generation.